Bali's beaches versus Kuala Lumpur's electric skyline and city vibe. Today, we'll be breaking down the cost of living, the food, internet and co-working spaces, lifestyle, community, and overall safety. These two destinations are two of the biggest digital nomad hotspots in Asia, especially this year. But which is actually the better place to live, work, and build a lifestyle? Let's jump straight into today's video and find out. And just a quick introduction for some of the new people on the channel. My name is Yad and I'm from the UK, and I travel around the world to different destinations, and most recently I found myself being stuck between Bali and Kuala Lumpur because I honestly love both of them as a digital nomad. And I think by the end of this video I'll be able to give you my honest opinion on which one is best for who, depending if you like a city life or a more laid-back life. But both bring their pros and cons, so we'll cover all of that in today's video. If you haven't yet and you are again new to the channel, we are almost at 100,000 subscribers, everyone. And once we reach 100,000 subscribers here on the channel, I'm going to personally take someone from my subscribers on an adventure with me to come and vlog and see all the behind the scenes, how everything works, and maybe you guys can start your journey on becoming a content creator as well. So hit that subscribe button because we are almost there and I'd really appreciate it. However, let's jump straight into today's video and let's get things started. So first things first, we're going to cover one of the most important conversations in today's topic, and that's cost of living and visas. So let's start with the big one, Kuala Lumpur's cost of living. In Kuala Lumpur, you can get a modern condo in the heart of the city with a pool, gym, security for roughly around $500 to $800 per month. And that's for your own place. Not like a shared room or a shared room in a villa or an apartment. It's literally for yourself. Groceries per week, I would say, are a little bit similar to Europe, to be honest. You can spend anywhere between $80 to $150 per week. And eating out, to be honest, is fairly reasonable. You could spend anywhere between 10 to 20 US dollars per day if you're going to be eating out. And if you're careful when it comes to transport, and one thing I have to say about transport in Malaysia and Kuala Lumpur in general, it's so affordable. So if you're coming from a European country or the West, things like Grab, which is the equivalent of Uber, is super affordable. And so is their public transport, which is their MRT. It's basically like their overground train service, which is actually super quick and efficient. And some of the fares that you'd be expecting to pay when it comes to the trains in Kuala Lumpur, you're looking at around 1 ringgit 20 and 6 ringgit 40 depending on the distance. So that's roughly, for 1 ringgit 20, that's less than $1, and 6 ringgit 40 is just about $1 US. So that's for a longer distance. So if you're paying that much on a daily basis, if you add it up, it's not too much. Now we'll talk a little bit about Bali's cost of living. When it comes to Bali, their villas are super beautiful, especially in places like Canggu and Ubud. And there are a lot of upcoming places these days like Sese, which is really quiet and very nice if you've got like families and stuff. But there's not much going on around there at the moment. There's a lot of like nice cafes and things opening up. But again, it's fairly cheaper if you want to come a little bit out of the main areas in Bali like Canggu and Ubud. But one thing I have to say with Bali, the prices are just so extortionate in comparison to somewhere like Kuala Lumpur, which is just really unfortunate because it wasn't like that so many years ago. The prices have just increased insane amounts because of the amount of tourism comes in. Airbnb prices are just through the roof. So if you're looking to stay for like short to mid-term, you're looking to a villa or apartment is going to set you back, this is if you want like the whole villa, around 2,000 to 3,000 US dollars per month easily. So I feel like it's so much more expensive than a city like Kuala Lumpur. And bearing in mind, Bali is just an island, you know. For me, I think those prices are extortionate, and they definitely, hopefully in the future, some balance does come to it, because I feel like there's a huge bubble in Bali right now, and all bubbles burst eventually, for how expensive living there is in terms of finding a villa. Maybe if you get something long term, they have contracts that are like 2 to 3 years, but some of them ask you for like lump sum payments up front. I mean, if you're sharing a villa, which is what most people typically do in Bali compared to Kuala Lumpur, for example in KL you can get your own place, you don't have to share. But in Bali, most of my friends that I know they're renting like 3 or 4 bedroom villas, and they all just pay like $1,000 each per month type of thing, and then that equates to almost $4,000 or $5,000 per month to have like this huge villa. I mean, don't get me wrong, that works for some people and that may work for you guys that's watching. Obviously, if you're going there with friends and you know people there that you can share the price with, then it makes sense. And when it comes to transport in Bali, there isn't much public transport, to be honest. The only public transport there is you can have the Grab scooters, you get back on the back of a Grab, or you can get taxi, but honestly getting cars in Bali, because the road systems are just not that great, it's a little bit difficult. You're always stuck in traffic. It's a bit of a headache. So if you don't know how to ride a scooter, then Bali is going to be a little bit of a, I would say, inconvenience most of the times, trying just to get groceries and trying to get about. But on the other hand, if you like a little bit of an adventure and you do like a scooter, then you're looking at around $50 to $100 per month for a scooter. I actually forgot to mention, if you wanted to rent like a car in Kuala Lumpur, I was renting a car there for about £200 per month, which is actually super cheap. So if you guys actually wanted to know where to rent that from, you can reach out to me on my Instagram, which is just here, and I'll share with you the contact details of the person that I had in Kuala Lumpur. And when it comes to groceries in Bali, I would say it's similar to Kuala Lumpur. It's not cheaper and it's not more expensive. It's about the same. You're looking to spend at least 100 to 150 minimum per week on grocery shopping. If I have to give the overall value for money when it comes to cost of living for living expenses, I would say that KL edges it due to the price of rent being significantly cheaper and being able to have such a bigger selection to choose from without having to overcommit, which I feel like Bali really makes you overcommit. If you want a decent price in Bali, you have to commit to like 1 to 2 years. And as a digital nomad, we're not always able to do that. We move around quite a lot. So just for me, I think KL trumps it when it comes to who wins on cost of living. Also everyone, as a digital nomad, as you know, you need to have a good backpack on the go, especially when you're traveling to different countries, always on the road, and you need something that is quite compact, strong, and that actually will fit into your everyday life. And that's where TomTok bags come into place, which is also officially the sponsor of today's video. TomTok have recently sent me their brand new collection, which includes the T66 lightweight 28 litre and 40 litre backpacks, which are designed specifically for digital nomads and travelers like me and you. They're lightweight, super durable, water resistant, and have plenty of compartments to keep my gear protected and organized. I especially love that they're built for comfort even when fully packed, which makes a huge difference when I'm on the move. And honestly, there's just so much space in this bag, guys. I mean, look at this. I've got the 16-inch MacBook Pro. It's got a huge sleeve, which you can just stick it inside like this. It's very easy for me just to access. So I just take that out and there we have it. So that's where I put my camera bag in. But obviously, if you guys don't have camera gear, you have all this space in the front where you can put things like clothes. So if you're going away for like a weekend, there's just so much room in here. Along with the backpacks, TomTok also sent me the T12 and T37. These are smaller bags that work perfectly alongside the lightweight series. The T12 is ideal for daily carries like SSDs, wallets, wires to keep things organized, and the T37 is a compact organizer that keeps all my cables, chargers and accessories neat, easy to grab when I'm traveling, especially with things like passports and wallets. T37 also has built-in RFID protection so your cards and passports stay safe from digital theft when you're on the move. So if you're looking for a reliable, stylish and practical bag setup, definitely check out TomTok. I'll leave all the links in the description below. So next we'll talk about a very important subject actually, and that is visas and staying long term in each of these destinations. And let's face it, as a digital nomad, no matter how amazing a place is, if you can't legally stay there long term, it's not very practical as a nomad. So you kind of want to find a place that has the best of both worlds. So let's start off with Bali. Most people arrive on a visa on arrival when it comes to Bali, and in Indonesia, they give you a 30 days on arrival. Or you can also choose to get the 2-month visa. So before you actually arrive to Indonesia, you actually have to do an online form, similar to Malaysia. It's like a landing card type of thing, but you actually have to pay for your visa prior to arriving to Bali. However, if you don't want to do the 60 days, you can do the 30 days initially, and you can extend another 30 days when you're in the country. but you can only stay 60 days maximum before needing to actually leave Bali. Some people typically do things like border runs, but it's not really sustainable to do that all the time because you're constantly having to pay for flights to leave the country and then come back in, and it just adds up. It constantly adds up all the cost of flights and hotels. There are longer term options like B2118 business visa or the KITAS, but those require more paperwork, money, and in many cases also a local sponsor. Now, when it comes to things like the KITAS and those visas, they are available, but one thing I'll say with Indonesia is that they are very temperamental when it comes to their visas. So even though you may have this KITAS visa now and you may get it, like 1 year later or during your visa duration, they can change a law or something along those lines that makes your KITAS or your visa invalid. So it's very, I don't want to say risky, but it's very temperamental. So just be aware of that could happen, because it's actually happened to one of my friends. He actually got a specific visa there, and then they changed the law most recently that said that anyone that has that specific visa now has to invest in the country. It was like $50,000 or something. So that could happen. So it's just, I think they're still trying to grasp the best method for digital nomads and trying to work out the best option. I wish they could do it a little bit sooner because it's such a hot spot for digital nomads. But I guess most people are just doing things like visa runs, to be honest. Now, when it comes to Kuala Lumpur and how Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia works, Malaysia is much more flexible for most Western passports. So for myself, being British, and a lot of like Americans and Europeans, what you typically get is a 90-day visa-free entry on arrival. It's really, really good. They're super efficient on that. And it just makes life as a traveler and a digital nomad much easier because you don't have to leave for 90 days, which is just excellent. And it's also easy to hop over to Thailand, Singapore or Bali and come back and kind of reset the 90 days. Obviously, that's not recommended. It's not saying to do that forever. Maybe like a few times is not a problem, but obviously don't take the mick, just like of anything. And however, on top of that, Malaysia have actually released a really, really interesting digital nomad visa, which is A, very affordable, and two, actually very efficient. So how it basically works is that they recently introduced a visa called DE Ratu Nomad Pass, which basically allows digital nomads to stay up to 12 months with an option to renew. And that's probably one of the most attractive official nomad visas in Asia right now. So when it comes to visas, Malaysia really makes it easier for digital nomads to base themselves in Kuala Lumpur or Malaysia longer term. So just to give you guys an idea of the cost breakdown of that, in Malaysia, you get a free 90-day visa on arrival. However, in Bali, you have to pay $35 for 30 days. And then if you want the 60 days, then you have to pay $60. It's around that, double the price. When it comes to the Nomad Pass, it's basically costs $210 for the main applicant. And if you've got dependents like a girlfriend or wife or kid, they basically cost $105 per person. So if it's you and someone else, you're looking at around $315. Or if there's a family, obviously you just got to add that up. And in terms of Bali's cost for visas, their B211 visit visa, the nomads use this. That is 2 million Indonesia rupiah, which is $130 for 60 days, or the extendable in 60 days. So the KITAS visa that I mentioned for Bali, it's 21 million Indonesian rupiah, which equals $1,400 depending on the sponsor and the type. So next we're going to talk about food and general lifestyle. So when it comes to Bali, guys, most of you have probably seen all the pictures of Instagram of the cafe culture, smoothie bowls, lattes, vegan options, everywhere. Perfect for the Instagram feed. Lifestyle-wise, Bali is more about beaches, yoga, and surfing. KL is more a big city energy with malls, nightlife, luxury mixed with tradition. It depends what vibe you're really chasing. And this is just a personal opinion for me, but it might be different for you guys. But I feel like Bali is probably the best place in the world I ever visited when it comes to food. I literally found it so hard to find a restaurant that doesn't serve good food. And I think they have a big influence from Australia because of the amount of Australian expats and visitors they've had over the years that have come to Bali and invested in restaurants and infrastructure. And it's just really trailed through all the incredible restaurants of the food, because if you guys don't know, food in Australia is also fantastic to what I've seen online. And another thing which I love about Bali is how affordable the prices are. You could spend like 10 British pounds, for example, and eat breakfast, lunch and your dinner in a restaurant, and you can stay there all day. And the food is not just some basic food. The food's really tasty. Great coffee everywhere you go. Breakfast, so tasty, delicious. Your avocado toast, eggs, incredible fish dishes in Bali. They've got burgers, they've got healthy options, acai bowls. I mean, you name it, the list just goes on. Food in Bali is so good. In Kuala Lumpur, there's also a lot of good food options from Chinese, Indian, Malay, plus some Western cafes, fine dining and the odd hawker stalls which are dotted around the city. And food in KL is great, but I feel that the value for money you get for food in Bali and how insanely good the quality is, Bali just has to trump it because it's so cheap, but the quality is literally up there. And there's not many places in the world where you have that. So yes, I know I said it earlier that house prices and accommodation in Bali are so expensive, but oh my God, does the food make up for it? You're spending down here, but the quality is just through the roof. And in terms of the lifestyle, I would say that it depends on the type of person you are. If you love being in a big city with bustling, busy vibe, with accessibility at your fingertips for everything, then KL will be your winner in terms of lifestyle. The only thing though, is that you'll find yourself indoors most of the time. It's a very indoors type of lifestyle, which is not that great because you do want to kind of go out for a walk and stuff. I mean, you can, but it's just the climate is really hot, so you want to be close to like a beach, which the closest beach is like Port Dickson, which is about an hour and a half away drive. However, if you're more of a beach goer and more like enjoying a laid-back lifestyle, then Bali is definitely going to be a winner for you when it comes to food and lifestyle, as you can finish working from 6 p.m. and then head down to the beach and watch a sunset every night. And I just found myself, even if I didn't plan to go watch a sunset, whenever I just finished whatever I'm doing towards later in the afternoon, on the way back I would always just catch my motorbike and drop off at the closest area, like there's a beach, and I'll just pull up on my bike and just, watch the sunset for like 10-15 minutes. It really is magical, like Bali is a very special place in terms of those aspects. I know there's a lot of things online that people say, oh, it's overrated, it's this and that, but it is what you make it, and if you can appreciate the things for what they are, then you will love Bali. So for me personally, I like a balance of both. I think a few months a year is nice to spend in Kuala Lumpur to be around the fast life, to keep you motivated, and then mix it up with a few months of the year in Bali and enjoy some laid back time to refresh. But in terms of lifestyle, if I had to pick a winner between these two, it's a really tough one because I've always been brought up in the city life in London. So I do love the Malaysia city life. It's very fast and electric. It's all these incredible shopping malls and really nice things all the time. However, that spiritual, nice, laid-back vibe of Bali, I love as well. So if I have to pick one from these two, it's very tough. But again, this is a personal opinion. I'm going to choose Bali, because I feel like as a person deep down, I connect more with Bali than I do Kuala Lumpur. However, that's in terms of the lifestyle. So the lifestyle, I prefer more the beaches and the laid back vibe, because I'm quite a chilled out person anyway. And the city, I like it to kind of work and just get my head down. So there you have it, lifestyle. So next we're going to talk about a very important subject for nomads, which is internet and co-working spaces. So let's start off with Bali. With Bali, you've got endless co-working spaces, and a new one probably opens up every 3 months, so the options are really vast. In Bali, you have workspaces that can cost you all the way from £100 to £200 per month, like this one, Nebula, which is a very cool space. It's like a warehouse feel, and the plans in Bali everywhere are a little bit pricey. Honestly, not sure why. Some of the workspaces are as pricey as they are in Bali. Yeah, not sure why some of the workspaces, they're so expensive in Bali, but some come with things like jacuzzis and ice baths. I mean, if that's your type of thing, maybe it works out for you. But personally for me, if I'm going to a workspace, I just want to go to a workspace. I don't want to have so many things like attached to it. If there's a gym, I want to go to the gym. If there's a workspace, I want to go workspace. I like to separate what I do. I don't mind sometimes having things together, maybe like a chill out area with the workspace, but I don't need a gym or an ice bath with my workspace. But in Bali, you do find that there are a lot of those type of things. So that's probably why they increase the prices. Most of the cafes in Bali are basically workspaces. They don't cost you anything per month. All you have to do is just buy a coffee or some food, and you can spend the whole day there without anybody saying, oh, can you kind of get out or type of thing, because it's such a normal thing in Bali to hang out in a cafe from morning till the evening. I used to do it a lot when I was there. And community in Bali is probably one of the best that you'll find around the world. As in most of the cafes and workspaces you go, there are plenty of events always happening and super easy to meet other entrepreneurs, individuals that are also open to meeting up just like yourself. It's easy to join things like Facebook groups and meet people. That's one of the easiest ways to meet people in Bali, and to be honest, it's part of the Bali culture that everybody goes there, they're open-minded, they're very open to meeting new people, making connections. There's so many people that have moved to Bali, and just moving there and meeting specific people has changed their life, because in this world we don't have to do everything on our own. It's good to have a community to do things with. Now when it comes to Kuala Lumpur's workspaces, when it comes to working in KL, again just like Bali, there are certainly so much to choose from. One that I use a lot is a place called Common Ground. They have many locations throughout the city and very nice modern vibe to their workspaces with good internet speeds. You can also work from cafes in Kuala Lumpur, which a lot of people tend to do. There are places like Kenny Hills Coffee, which have super fast internet and one of the best coffees in the city, is what I previously used to do when I visited Kuala Lumpur. But when it comes to community in KL, I don't feel like it's as strong as it is in Bali. I would say that there is some sort of community when it comes to workspaces and expat life. However, I don't feel that it is as strong. People are a little bit more reserved than Bali, and I think it's probably because of the city vibe. It's that city culture, so not many people are as warm and as open as like that island life, which is very normal. Even though there's the digital nomad visa opened up in Malaysia, it's still fairly new, and I think digital nomad life in Malaysia is definitely a lot newer than it is in places like Bali. So it's going to catch up soon, and when it eventually does, I think it's going to be great, because KL is an amazing city. So if I have to choose the winner for kind of things like workspaces and community, I think it's probably going to have to go to Bali, and that's probably just because by default, because they've had it for so much longer and it's part of the culture there. And now we're going to talk about quality of life and safety. Quality of life is definitely a tough one here, because it really depends on what you value personally. In Bali, life is always outdoors, scooters, beaches, rice fields, waterfalls on the weekends, you plan it with your friends. I mean, it's just paradise. It feels like you're always close to nature, but with that comes a bit of challenges as well. The traffic in Bali can be so frustrating sometimes. I mean, you end up being out around 4 to 6 p.m, you're going to get stuck. If you go super early, you're going to get stuck. So you just have to be very tactical with the timings and how you get about. And the roads in Bali are definitely nowhere as safe as they are in Kuala Lumpur. I mean, people are always getting into accidents on their motorbikes, and safety element, I don't know if there is really that much of a safety element in Bali. Honestly, there's people riding around their scooters with no helmet, shirts off. I mean, it's crazy, to be honest. I think I don't know how they do it and why they risk it. It just takes one wrong turn or one car to pull out on you. It's not always you that makes the mistake, it's somebody else that could do it and that could cause you an accident. So yeah, the one thing, the safety element when it comes to road traffic in Bali, I think is non-existent. It really does need to improve. And healthcare, definitely, and healthcare in Bali, it's not known to be great, which is a bit of a problem. Even if you got health insurance and things like that, the healthcare is just not that great. Most people tend to fly out to go to Singapore or for emergencies, basically. I've had friends previously that when they've had issues, they've flown to Singapore or even to Malaysia, because it's the closest destinations to get the treatment. So yeah, when it comes to those things, it's not that great. And Kuala Lumpur is honestly the opposite. You've got world-class infrastructure, air-conditioned malls everywhere, reliable hospitals, and quite affordable, and easy access to modern amenities. And it feels definitely much more structured, cleaner, and definitely safer to get around. I mean, yeah, it makes sense why. You're probably saying, okay, because it's a city. If you compare Kuala Lumpur to Jakarta, then it's probably more on the comparable spectrum. So the trade-off when you come to Kuala Lumpur is that you will spend a lot of time indoors because of the heat and the humidity, and you don't have that daily connection to beaches or nature like you do in Bali. So the real question here is, do you prefer the island lifestyle where every day feels like a little mini adventure, or the comfort and safety of a modern city where things just basically work, like without any issues? So for me, the winner on, I would say, safety is definitely Malaysia, because just the infrastructure, the roads, everything's so much better. Or Kuala Lumpur, sorry. So final verdict: who's better, Bali or Kuala Lumpur? Let's get into it. So if you're chasing community, sunsets and that island lifestyle where you can finish work and be on the beach 5 minutes later, Bali is unbeatable. The vibe is electric, the nomad scene is huge, and you will never struggle to meet like-minded people. But if you're looking for stability, affordable modern apartments, fast internet, and the balance between cultures, Kuala Lumpur is incredibly underrated. It doesn't really market itself as a nomad hub just yet like Bali does, but the quality of life you get for your money is really hard to beat. And for me, the real answer is a mix of both. I love spending part of the year in KL, where I can focus, live comfortably and enjoy the big city life. And then when I want to recharge, meet new people and enjoy the beach vibe, I'll head back to Bali. So personally, if I have to choose between the two, for me, I would say Kuala Lumpur edges it because of the infrastructure and just how most things work, and I'm able to concentrate a lot more in Kuala Lumpur. Because when I go to Bali, I'm always so distracted by things like, you know, the amazing beaches, the beach vibes, beach clubs, not like party clubs, but just areas where you can just go relax. There's too many cafes that serve too much good food. I do remember when I was there last time, I spent a lot of time eating rather than actually working because the food was so cheap and it was just so good. I would just order every like few hours while I was sitting in the cafe. I was like, oh, this looks great on the menu. It's only like £3-4 British pounds. I'm gonna get it. So yeah, it's more of a, as I say, for me, Bali's a destination to go there for like a couple months, enjoy it for what it is, and then just kind of give it a break. And then too much of anything, I would say, in life, or it's never good. And too much of Bali, as great as it is never good because it's just too comfortable. Whereas Kuala Lumpur gives you quite a few challenges, you know, that hustle and bustly life. It kind of makes you fight to get to the office sometimes or to like a workspace. It can be busy and just a lot of energy around, you know. Whereas Bali, everyone's kind of chilled out and can just do things when they feel like it. But now I would love to hear from you guys. What do you prefer, Bali or Kuala Lumpur? After watching this video, if you've never been to both of these destinations, I really hope that I've given some type of value to you guys. If you want to see more of my Malaysia videos and also what life in Kuala Lumpur is like in 2025, you can watch this video just up here and that will take you to go and watch that video, and also the series in Malaysia. I've actually not filmed any series or anything in Bali just yet, but I do plan to film some more digital nomad videos to give you guys an idea of the different cafes that are there, the cost of living a little bit more in depth in Bali, so that will be coming soon, so subscribe for that. At the moment, more Malaysia videos are coming after today. So guys, almost 100,000 subscribers. I would love for one of you guys to be coming on a trip with me. So once I reach 100,000, I will be bringing you guys all expenses paid and we're gonna have a great time. So anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share a comment, what you think about it, and yeah, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.